Hi everybody and welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My name is Alana. I am Mrs. Smith Stitches here on YouTube and on Instagram as well if you want to go and give me a follow there. I also have a new email address. It is mrssmithstitchesflosstube@gmail.com. I thought I should probably set up an email just for stitching instead of using my personal email for that. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I've been running around this morning and I'm like, I gotta film, so I sat down. Anyway, welcome. Thank you so much if you're returning. Welcome if you are new. This is Flosstube number 6. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will say happy Saturday. You guys will be seeing this hopefully Saturday morning, bright and early. I'm actually filming a couple of days ahead. My work schedule was a little bit off. I try to film on Friday mornings and then post on Saturdays because of my internet is a little slow. It takes me quite a bit to upload. We're pretty rural here, so our internet, it's not always the speediest. So, but this week I'm actually filming a little bit ahead of time just because I actually am on a conference all day Friday and I wouldn't have time to film at all. So anyway, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming back and, listening to me blabber on about cross stitch. That's great. I appreciate it. Thank you. So let's see what's been new in the last couple of weeks. My husband and I celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, which was lovely. That was June the 13th. So it was really fun. We spent the day together, went out for lunch. Ended up actually going shopping for furniture for the basement. We had a flood a couple months ago and we're just sort of starting now to plan what's going to go down there. So, super romantic 25th anniversary date. We had a nice steak lunch though, so that was lovely. But yeah, we ended up pretty much shopping for furniture, which was needed and it was kind of nice. We didn't have big plans for the actual day. We are going to go away on a trip mid-August this year. We're going to go down into Maine and sort of do a drive. We're going to do a little road trip for about 10 days. We'll be gone, just the two of us, which will be really nice. We haven't done a big trip, just the two of us, since 2019. We did California and we went out and did a big road trip there, flew into Vegas and did the whole tour, flew out of San Francisco. It was lovely. It was a beautiful, beautiful trip. Sadly, I wasn't cross-stitching again back then, and I realized that I was in Vegas, and there's some great cross-stitch stores over there. We even went into Arizona. So anyway, well, we'll have to do that trip again so I can visit all of the cool cross-stitch stores that are down there. But that is no plans for that right now. So we had that day. Since the last time I have filmed, we have had some issues up here with the forest fires. I know everybody's heard about it. New York State particularly was hit really hard with the air quality. So are we. We're quite close to Quebec here. And that's where we do have some in Ontario, but the closest ones to us was in Quebec. And so we definitely had a few days where the air quality was super, super poor, really weird, skies, really, really weird colors. Thankfully, I don't want to say it's past. I know we still have fires going. Absolutely. I think they're more controlled for sure. I know they're calling this year to be one of the worst years that we've ever had. In our area specifically, it's super rare for us to even see smoke. So it was pretty disconcerting for sure. Praying for all the people that are living much closer. And since it's only June, they're definitely, I think planning for the worst since it's not really yet forest fire season, as we say. So yeah, so a little concerning as the summer goes on. Hopefully we'll manage to keep everything at bay. Hopefully we'll get, a good amount of rain and we won't have to worry about that again. But everybody is good here, at least in our area. The skies are clear, able to play outside again. I know the schools and the daycares, the kids weren't allowed to be out for recess because the air quality was so poor, which is pretty scary, honestly. It's certainly not something we're used to in this area. So I'm glad that things are sort of starting to get a little bit more under control there. And I did go to the Seaway Valley Stitchers very first meetup. It was so fun. They met in the Cornwall Public Library. So the Seaway Valley Stitchers is a new group based out of Cornwall that has started since Stitch North. I guess there's quite a few of them that sat, I don't know if they all knew each other before, I'm not sure, that sat in the same area and met up and was like, we need to do meetups. And so I was able to go. It happened to fall on a day that I wasn't working, which was great. Cornwall is a little over an hour from me, so not super local, but not really far either. So it was fun, actually. We stitched for a few hours. It was nice to meet some new ladies. I think almost all of them had been at the last Stitch North. So that was fun as we, talk about, because I'm going next year, so I'm pretty excited about that. Some of us going the same weekend, some, the weekend before. I'm going weekend 2. So that was fun. And they do have one more meetup scheduled so far. It is on June 24th, same at the Cornwall Public Library. June 24th is a Saturday. So they are a Facebook group, and I'm going to link their Facebook group down below. If you're interested in joining, if you're in the area and you'd like to come to a meetup, by all means. It was super fun. Small group, relatively small group, but lots of fun. So nice to meet other stitchers and talk about what everybody's stitching on and working on. And I loved it. It was so much fun. Another retreat that I just heard about. So there's a few Facebook groups, and I'll post them below. So there's the Seaway Valley Stitchers Facebook group. Sorry, this is more for local people. This is not, sorry. There is an Ottawa and area Stitchers group on Facebook. I'll post the link to that. And then there is on Ontario, I think it's called Ontario Cross Stitchers. I will link that as well. But just the other night, like last night or the night before, someone had posted that there's going to be a retreat in Kingston. And it is called, let me see, I wrote it down, Stitches of Our Lives. It is the first retreat that they've done. It is November 10th to 12th. It's in downtown Kingston. They have a website. I don't know that they have a Facebook group, but they have an actual website. So I subscribe to their newsletter, but I will link their website as well if anybody's interested in attending. It's the first one. They're calling it their pilot retreat. So it's the first retreat they've ever done. And yeah, I mean, it's neat to see more things coming up for cross stitchers. I think that's really fun. I'm definitely seeing like so many people, especially as you watch Flosstube and stuff, there's so many people that's like, oh, I didn't stitch for so long, and then they got back into it and realized all of the things, all of the new patterns, all of the new fibers and fabrics and stuff, and everybody's just all excited about cross stitch again, which I think is really fun, especially for those of us that like stitched 30 years ago and now sort of coming back into it has been really fun. So yeah, another retreat coming up that if you're in Ontario or local-ish, might be fun to go. So there you go. I'm going to post all of that in the notes below. And I think that's all I have for like stitchy updates, life updates. Not a ton going on here. My husband leaves on the 23rd for a trip down east. He's going to Newfoundland, PEI, well, everywhere. He'll drive through Quebec and New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. He's actually going with his mom. So his mom, my mother-in-law, who is into her 80s now, has a pen pal, and they have been pen pals since they were 9 years old. Really, like 9. Like I don't keep into contact with people I live in the same town with because our kids stop doing sports or whatever, and we lose contact. They have been writing letters to each other literally for like 70 years. Like it's wild and it's so sweet. And they have met before. So she has come here. My mother-in-law's gone there once, and her name is Ruth, the lady that they're going to see in Newfoundland. And the funniest thing is such a small world. I love it. So my mother-in-law, Betty, her pen pal, Ruth, I work with her granddaughter at the hospital, in a random hospital in Ontario, nowhere near Newfoundland, we work in the same hospital. Her granddaughter's a nurse. I thought that was the funniest thing when I found that out. I actually tracked her. Well, she tracked me down, and she's like, we need to meet because my mom says we need to meet. Anyway, so fun. My husband is taking her out to see her pen pal. And I think that's super, super sweet. So they leave on the 23rd. I think that's the Saturday. Oh, maybe no, that's the Friday. They're leaving on the Friday. They're driving, which will be wild. So they're driving out. They're actually ferrying it over. Like the ferry to Newfoundland is like 16 hours. Like, I think that's wild. I would rather fly, but, and then they're going to spend some time there. I think they're gone for like 2.5, 3 weeks. They're going to spend some time there. They're going to go over to PI. They're going to be in PI for Canada Day. So that'll be fun. And then they'll be back. So I'm so excited. I'm glad they're getting a chance to do it. My mother-in-law has been talking about this for literally years, like probably about 10 years. She's been talking about going back out to Newfoundland. So, and my husband has never been. He's been down east. He's done PI in Nova Scotia, but he's never done Newfoundland. So he's really excited. And a super close friend of mine who is from Newfoundland, she lives here, like in the same town I live in now. The town that this woman, Ruth, lives in is the town her husband grew up in. So they know each other. Like, it's just, I love it. I love that Canada is so gigantic, but like, we have all these little connections from our itty bitty little town here in Ontario. We have all these little connections to like it's wild. I just think it's hilarious. So when Sean, my husband Sean, was asking my friend, like, he was just saying, oh, I'm going, this is where we're going, this is the town we're going. She's like, no way. She's like, that's her husband's small, like, so she's texting her mother-in-law. She's like, do you know, of course they know each other because they're little tiny towns. Anyway, super fun. So neat to see all the little, like, I love that. I just love that, you know, what do they call that? Like 6 degrees of separation or something? That, you know, we have all these little connections all the way here. And so we like, it's so far to get like to each other, but yeah, there's all these little connections. Anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. I'm sorry. Anyway, husband's going away on a trip. I should have lots of time to stitch because I'll be home by myself, just me and the dogs, for like 2.5 weeks. So I'm hoping to get lots of stitching in. I don't know what else I'll do. Well, I'll work, but you know, besides that. And so yeah, that's all that we have going on. I think that's it. I think that's enough. That's enough. Okay, let's get to the stitching now. I've talked now for a while. Let's get into the stitching. So my last time I showed my kids' birth samplers, and I had a lot of people ask if they could see the like I kept the leaflets, and I said that they were one of the very few patterns that I have kept. I can't get at them. So we did have the flood in the basement, and because of that, everything that we could rescue from the flood and anything that was on the walls came upstairs. So my husband collects a lot of like movie paraphernalia, collectibles, memorabilia, I don't know what you call it. And my stitching stuff that I wasn't using, all my craft stuff is in the closet of my husband's office, because that was my craft room. I never moved the stuff out of the closet. He didn't need the closet, and it was all organized in there. Well, now I can't get to the closet. I should have taken a picture. Maybe I will, and I'll insert a picture of what it looks like. No, I won't, because it's embarrassing. Because all the posters came off the walls, and he has boxes now of like little collectible Funkos, and I don't know what he has. Honestly, I don't know what he has. Movie stuff. So the other night I was like, well, I'm going to get the pamphlets because people wanted to see them. And I went in and I was like, I can't even get to it. Like his room is just, he has his desk and boxes and like stuff leaning against the walls. I can't get anywhere near the closet. Once that's cleaned out and I can get at my cross stitch stuff again, I will show the leaflets because I don't remember the names of the patterns. I don't even remember where I bought them, to be honest. It's been so long. So when I do get it, I will do that. When I get a chance, I will show those so that people want to track them down. eBay is fantastic for that. You can find almost anything on eBay. So if there's one that you are really looking for or wanting to do, then it's there. So I will try to do that. I will try to do that as soon as I can get into that. I make no promises because my husband's now leaving for like 3 weeks. And we still haven't started renovations yet on the basement. We're still dealing with insurance a little bit. So I'm hoping that'll happen while Sean is away. Fingers crossed that we can at least get the drywall and stuff done so that we can start planning a little bit more. Hopefully, we'll see. But I do have some other previously old finishes. These were finished actually before I was married because they have my old date on it. They have my old initial. This is back when I used to initial things. So this was, it was a leaflet series. Oh, it's a little dusty. I can see the dust. Excuse me while this one hasn't been put out because this is the summer one and it's still technically spring. I'll just do this. Pretend like I should edit that out. So this was a set of 4. I love them, but you see, I put my initials down there. Yeah, those are I'm just gonna say, it was, okay, there we go. It was before I got married. And it was in one leaflet. I have always been super attracted to seasonal stuff. Always, absolutely always. Always been attracted to seasonal stuff. So this is the summer one. I love it. I think it's so cute. I just love them. I still have them out all the time. Like every year they switch. I have a spot where they go. And I have all the seasons. So that was summer. Here's fall. I just love them. Like still some of my favorite things that I probably, sorry, and it's glary because museum glass, I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know who designed them. I don't know. I don't know if I kept this pattern. I feel like I did. I feel like it was one of the ones that I kept because I loved them so much. I just think they're so sweet and I love having them out. So whenever I get into that bin of stuff, once I can access it, I'll see if I've kept it. I know it was like one of the booklet, like little skinny booklets, and it had all 4 patterns in one. That's all I remember. I don't know where I bought it. I can't remember that. And there's the winter one. Look at the little snowman. I loved these. I so clearly remember stitching these. I was young, like I was like 19 or 20 probably. And I remember, I actually stitched these for my mom. These were in my mother's collection. One day when my mom comes to visit, I'll have to get her to bring some stitching with her. So these were in my mother's collection. And when she moved houses, she either didn't have a spot, I don't know. She asked me if I wanted the back and I'm like, yes, because they were one of my favorite things I ever stitched. And here's the spring one. So this is the one that I've had out now that I'll replace with the summer because it's almost summer, a couple days. But ever since I've lived in this house, I've had them back. And I've put them out. I change them every year. I love them. I just think they're so fun. Like, I love seasonal stuff. I just do. That's just my thing. Seasonal is my thing. So that's what I have for finishes. I guess they're previous finishes. They're very previous. They're retro finishes. And yeah, so maybe when my mom comes, my parents will come for my grandson's first birthday, which is in July. So maybe I'll see if she'll bring a couple that I can show you, and then I'll bring them back to her when we go back and visit them. Unfortunately, we live pretty far away. We're about 5-6 hours away from each other, so we don't get to see each other very often, which is too bad. But they'll be here in July for sure. Okay, let's get on to the stitching that I did this week. I have one finish, I have one new start, and I have some whips. So I think I did okay this week. Especially since I'm filming early. So I did think I'd have more to show you. I feel like I always say that. But I didn't do too bad. I had a couple of days off, so I managed to get some decent stitching done. So here's my finish. Now, I don't even think I've even showed this. I don't think this finish made my whip parade at all. So I have like a bin, like a tote, like a 31 bag tote, where I keep all of my whips in. And I think this was so little, it was just in a little tiny bag. I think it slipped under, and I don't remember it being a part of my whip parade. But anyway, I was organizing and I found it and I was like, oh, it's super close. So I finished it. I was very pleased with myself. So this is, what's it called? The Rooster and the Hens by Little House Needleworks. Here, let me do it this way. There we go, less glare. So cute, it was super cute. It was actually a stitch along. I don't remember. It was a little stitch along, and it was super cute with another Flosstuber, the mom and the daughter. Oh man, and I don't remember. I can picture them in my head. If I remember, I'm gonna put their floss tube down here. I really like watching them, and now I can't remember their names. That's small. I did that last time too. Okay, anyway, sorry. Here is my finish. So here it is. So cute with the little chickens and the little girl and the quilt. So sweet. I have no idea how I'm gonna finish this. I never do. I don't have plans. I just stitch stuff. I don't have plans for it. But hopefully I'll get this fully finished. It would be nice. It's very sweet. It's very summery. It would be really pretty out right now. Like maybe a flat finish or a little, maybe I'll try one of those like fold finish. I don't know. I always say I'm gonna try stuff and I never do. But yeah, super cute. Turned out really well. And it was very, very, very close to a finish. And it was just hiding in there. So I thought, you know what? Sometimes it's nice to like feel productive. Like I feel like I stitch a lot, but I don't feel like I get very far because a lot of my stitching is like big or bigger pieces. So it was really nice to be like, I can actually finish that and get it done. All right, so my WIPCO picks the WIPCO numbers this month are 4 and 16, which for me is the same. I put my pieces that I want to work on more than once on my board, which works out great. So this month, both 4 and 16 are Quaker Christmas 2, which is called Songs of the Season. I don't love the picture of this because I feel like it's just not a great, like it doesn't really do it justice. If you want to see a finished version of this, Sherry at the Colorado Cross Stitcher, she finished it last year maybe, like fully finished it. It's so nice. She's the reason I started stitching it, to be honest. I saw her, she was like in the process of stitching it, and I was like, oh, I need that. And so I bought it. And then I actually started it, which was fantastic. Let me see if I can get this nicely. The bottom part is wrinkled. When I iron, I only iron the part that I'm stitching on. And so here's my progress. So I did pretty good. I got, let me see, it's very hard to hold. I need one of those boards that people have. So I got all of this done. So I had these letters and like this part done, and I got quite a bit done. Now I did work 5 days on this. My WIPCO goals are usually work 5 days. So I do have another 5 days to do this month. I always feel like when I look at it, it's like, it doesn't seem like that's a lot for 5 days, but I don't know, it was 5 days. I really like it. I love it. I just enjoy the fact that you can come in, like you can sit down, sorry, I moved my camera. You can sit down to stitch and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna do one little motif. I love that. And it works up super quick. It's like, okay, I did that. I just really, really like it. I really, really, really like it. It's going to be beautiful to be done and framed and on a wall somewhere at Christmas time. I just love it. So that was my WIPCO for this. And then next time I see you, we'll have done another 5 days on it. Hopefully a decent amount of days. Or a decent amount of hours per day. I guess that's what I mean. Next is, I have to think now. So the next is my cross stitch camp. So cross stitch camp for June is Stitch Something with a Bird. Cross stitch camp is hosted by Sherry at the Colorado Cross Stitcher as well. I get lots of inspiration from her. I feel like everything she stitches, I was like, yeah, I'd like to stitch that too. So I'm doing October 31st by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this has been really fun. I'm really liking this. This has been a ton of fun to stitch on. And here's where I am. So quite a bit of progress since the last time you guys saw it. The colors are not showing up spectacular. The stars are looking much darker than they look in person. Now let me see if I can get, yeah, it's not showing up great. My lighting isn't spectacular here, but here's where I am. I love that pumpkin. I love the detail. If you can see the detail in the pumpkin here, let me see. I feel like there we go. Oh, it was so fun. And it's so pretty. And I kind of like that it's like that greeny color instead of just like a bright orange pumpkin. So I made good progress. My goal is to have this finished by the end of the month. And so I think I'll be able to meet that goal. All I have left, I have to do the bird and then the rest of this, but it's not a lot. Like, I think the pumpkin was kind of the biggest chunk of time and it didn't take me a ton of time. So hopefully I'll film again end of June. Might be yeah. I'm looking for a calendar and I have no calendar here. I don't know why I'm looking for one. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm going nuts today. So yeah, that is my plan. My plan is next time that I film, it will be finished. Hopefully I will. And then I will be starting on Cross Stitch Camp project for July. Alrighty, let's get on to a few other random whips that I just sort of worked on. I think I only have a few. I think I only have 2 actually. Oh, no, I don't. So this is one that I keep picking up because I'd really like to get it finished. So when I was away for work, same with the Strawberry Fields that I showed, I think last week I showed it. There's just a few that it's just like, I start, but I really like to get some whips out of my whip basket. Like I want them gone and on the wall or something done with them. So I did do some time on Shannon Christine's Thankful. I've been working on this for like a long time. which is sort of silly because it's not like, anyway, I love it. I think it's so fun. It's super, super cute. And it's a really easy stitch. Like it's a comfortably easy, like it goes really quickly. And I really would like to get it finished. So here's my progress on this. I just love it. I just think it's so sweet and so fun for fall. So I worked and I finished the pumpkins. I started this corner and I did a little bit down here. The gingham is stitch heavy, right? Because it's solid stitching. So I do find that it takes a while, and I'm stitching this. I never even talked about what I'm stitching anything on. Look, Flosstube 101. Tell people the cloth. This is 28 count. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. I know it's 28 count. So I'm stitching this 2/2. Now I'm gonna have to go back and tell you what I'm stitching everything else on. Yeah, newbie. Anyway, super cute. I really like it. I'm close to a finish. So I've been trying to take this with me. Like I take it to work. I rarely, like if I have time, it's like my last break of the night and that's only 15 minutes. So by the time I get it out, it doesn't give me a ton of stitching time. I can maybe get a thread in and that's about it. But I've been trying to sort of pick away at this one when I just have a few minutes here and there because I'd love it to be finished for the fall. It's just so sweet. Like I really, really like it. So I would love it to be finished for the fall. Okay, so this is 28 count. Hold please, and I'm gonna go back. So this, I have no idea what I stitched this on. None. It's incredibly loose, whatever it is, like the actual, like it's super, super, super loose. No idea where I got it from. It looks like it was cut from something else. As you can see, my strings dangling everywhere. No idea where it came from. I'd say at least a 32 count, super loose fabric. Wouldn't recommend it. It wasn't great to stitch on. Like, I mean, it looks cute, but it wasn't. I prefer a tighter weave, let's just say. But yeah, if you look like close up, you can really see like, it's like, I don't know if it's showing up on camera. Anyway, this was stitched with the called for DMC. No idea what the fabric was, except that it was loose. This is also being stitched on the called for DMC, with the called for DMC. October 31st, I'm stitching this on 40 count Ancient by Picture This Plus, which is the called for with all the called for floss. So 2 fancy flosses, the rest are DMC. Yeah, so that's that. And I am stitching Quaker Christmas 2 on 40 count white Zweigart with 2 fancy flosses, Grasshopper and Ribbon Red, I want to say. They're both classic colorworks. And I'm stitching that on a 40 count. Sorry about that. I know people ask and then I'm awful to remember to say everything. I need better. I need to look at my notes more is what I need to do. Here, I'm all twisted here. Hang on just 1 second. Okay, whip number, I don't even know. I was supposed to do like the 6 and 6. The last video I talked about it, I was going to do like the 6 and 6 and the 4x4. 6x6, 4 in 4. I don't remember. That's hosted by the Camping Stitcher host 1, Chris, and then Jessica the Sweetwater Stitcher and Alicia the Fanciful Flamingo host another one. They host the 6 and 6. And I had great plans for that weekend. I was going to just stitch my little heart out all day, and that didn't happen. I got almost no stitching done that weekend. So I never did get, I think I touched 6 whips, but I never did get that to complete that, which is too bad because I always find those are fun. I have string everywhere here. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so my next project that I worked on, I'm sure you saw a glimpse of it as I like folded it right in front of the camera, is the Shannon Christine Designs Signs of Christmas. So this is her new monthly subscription piece. You get a new pattern the first of every month. So let's see, I'm having a really hard time. It's on a giant piece of fabric. It's 25 count Vintage Country Mocha. 1/1 is how I'm stitching this. And so here is, I haven't cut the fabric down yet. I hate cutting my fabric. I'm always so paranoid. So here is, I won't want the read. June. This is June's pattern. Not finished yet. Super close though. I did really well. I got a good chunk of it done. And so there's the 3 of them together. And there's 9 all together. And so I'm going to go down like I'm going to do a 3x3 square. That's what I'm going to do. So I thought that's cute. It's sweet. And it's kind of fun. I've now stitched this June. I've stitched 2 Christmas pieces. So it's like, and I'm starting a new one in July. So apparently I'm doing so good not stitching in the season. This month I've stitched a Halloween, a fall, 2 Christmases. There you go. I'm getting outside of my comfort zone here. So, oh, see, I know I need to cut my fabric. I know, I hate it. I cut it at the last possible second. So here it is. Can you see it? No, this isn't going well. Excuse me. Let me just try this. There we go. Alrighty. So there it is. It's cute. I really like it. I'm excited to have this. It turned out smaller than, obviously, I'm doing 1/1 on 25, and I think, I don't know what it calls for. It calls for Vintage Country Mocha, but I'm not sure what size. And obviously you could do them as individual pieces if you wanted to. Like you could easily do that. You could easily do it as an individual piece. Or at each individual and put them on little blocks or something for Christmas, or just stitch the ones that you like the best. I think they're really cute. I really like the candy cane border in between. So it's been fun. So I've been keeping up with that pretty good. That's, I think, one of the only styles ever that I've actually managed to keep up with. We'll see if it stays like that as the months progress. And now, on to my new start. So I did have an anniversary start. I did start it the morning of my anniversary. We got up and puttered around a little bit, and then I went to go do something. I don't remember what I did. Anyway, my husband fell back asleep. I came upstairs and he's on the bed, like sleeping. I was like, oh, okay. Apparently he needed like a little bit of extra morning nap. So he's gonna love that I said that on YouTube too. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stitch for a bit. I only got a little tiny bit. I have a pretty small start and I'm not happy with it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna show you guys the picture. So here it is, it's the Scarlet House. It's a beautiful sampler, like super beautiful. And I've been stitching on it just for a day or 2 now. And I'll show you my start. My problem is, so this is stitched in silks. Combinations like Gloriana, Dinky Dyes, and Belle Soie. I believe there's some of everything in here. I stitched it. It comes with a DMC. Sorry, this is still in the plastic, but I think I can show this because it doesn't actually have anything else on it. So it comes with the DMC numbers, right? The DMC numbers really don't, and I know, and it says that here, they are not going to be a match to the silk perfectly, but they don't match. The one color doesn't match at all. Like it's a completely different color. So if you look, so I'm over, where am I? I'm over here. So I'm doing this. I don't know if you can see that picture. I'm doing this color here. This to me looks like a limey green. The color in the DMC is orange. And I mean orange. I'm going to show you. So this is my start on the Smith sampler. And I like it, but I don't think I love it. So I have this is the color on the picture that looks lime green, but it is orange, like a rusty. It's actually really pretty orange, but it's orange. And this color that they do the border in is a brown. Maybe it's like an olivey green. I think it looks, to me, it looks brown. But in the picture, in the model, it's green. And these are like little trees, right? And they look brown. Anyway, I have looked on Instagram. I haven't found anybody that has stitched in the DMC. Everybody has used the called for silks or they've done a conversion. So I'm not sure. I think normally I would just stitch it with the DMC, but because it's like my anniversary sampler, I really want it to be exactly what I want. Do you know what I mean? So I'm super tempted to actually buy the silk and stitch it in the silks, even though I've never done that. And it wouldn't really be my first choice to start the only thing I've ever stitched in these giant silks, or to stitch such a big piece. And so I don't even know if I like stitching with silk, and it's really expensive. Now there isn't a ton of colors, but a few, like the one, this color for the border, you need 2 skeins, and the skeins are like $8 American. So that right there is like a lot. Like that's, I can't do math. I don't know what the math is in my head, but the Canadian dollar is bad. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the Smith sampler is going in a timeout. Now, I did look up the Vicky Clayton silks, and she has a silk pack for the Smith sampler. It's, I think, like 52 American, but that's like, for me, that'd be like 75 by the time it's shipped. Like that's almost $100 probably just in this, like in the floss. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what to do. If you know of anybody that stitched it in the DMC, could you please leave that below, please? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super thrilled with the border color, and I'm not really thrilled with this color because it's supposed to be a tree and it's orange. So I don't know. Give me your thoughts. If I should just bite the bullet and buy the silk for it. I don't even know if I like working with silk. Everybody says I will, but then I feel like there's such a big sampler. If I don't like it, I bought it, right? Like I would have preferred to start out with like a skein of silk and like not a monogamous, like a monochromatic piece and just worked with it. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. So the Smith sampler has sadly now gone into a timeout, which kind of messes up my plans for the rest of the month. And I don't know what. Now I need to figure out what the heck I'm going to stitch. Anyway, if you know of anybody, or if you have a picture of this with the called for DMC or with a DMC conversion, I would love that. If anybody knows of anybody, I've looked it up, I've Googled it, I've searched it on Instagram, but the only ones I can find were called for. So everybody seems to have used the silks, and maybe that's just what I should do. Maybe I should just bite the bullet, order the silks. I don't know. Opinions are welcome. Advice is welcome. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, so that was my new start and uncertainty about what my plans are for that going forward, because I don't think I'm going to continue it the way it is. I could just like convert the DMC myself to a color that I'd like better. That might be the easiest thing to do, and try to just match it based on the picture or based on people's Instagram pictures, because sometimes like the pictures on here aren't necessarily the best quality. And if I can find, like, a lot of people have stitched it, so if I can find that, maybe I can kind of match. I'm not sure. Anyway, to be continued on the Smith sampler. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Okay, so that leads me to plans. And now my plans are a little bit askew. I'm not really sure. I will continue working on October 31st and try to get that finished. I will do 5 more days on Quaker Christmas 2 because that's my WIPGO plans. But my ongoing plans, I haven't pulled out any old WIPs because I thought I would be concentrating on the the Smith sampler from the Scarlet House. And now I don't think I will be until I figure out what I want to do with that. So I think I might just wander into my basket of WIPs and see what catches my eyes and hopefully get some work on some of those. If I can find, I don't even remember what's in there. If I can find a few that maybe don't have a ton left, it's been really nice to actually feel like I've gotten stuff accomplished. Feel like it's like, oh, I finished this. I'm like getting there. So when I go to do another WIP parade, it won't be all the same WIPs that you're just going to see over and over again. I don't have any new plans or plans to have any new starts in the next couple of weeks. I think I will wait till July and start my cross stitch camp piece. Yeah, I think that's about it. My plans are a little bit uncertain for the next few weeks, but I'm sure I will come up with something somewhere along the line. Okay. Oh, now we're on to the giveaway. My very first giveaway, which I did last week. So I was giving away my copy of Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. I finished that. And so I am giving away this copy. And the winner of that giveaway is, now I'm going to read it. Actually, I should probably pop it up on the screen, but I'm going to read it. It's Cotterill Family 7355. I'm going to put that along. Maybe I'll just take a screenshot of the comment generator and put her comment up there. So it's Cotterill Family 7355. You are the winner of Strawberry Fields Forever. Congratulations. If you can email me, my email will be down below at mrsmithstitchesflosstube@gmail.com. Email me and send me your address and I will get that out to you as soon as I can. Probably won't mail out till sometime next week. I believe you're Canadian though, because I think your comment said something about being from Saskatchewan. So hopefully, you never know with Canada Post, but hopefully it'll be there within a week or so. So please send me an email and I will get that out to you as soon as I can. And now I am going to do a second giveaway because I finished another pattern. So I'm going to do a giveaway for the pattern for, the Rooster and the Hens, which is Little House Needleworks. And so if you are interested in entering for this pattern, please subscribe, please like, and please be over 18 because you can't send me your address if you're under 18. So please don't be under 18. And please leave a comment with the word, I'm going to say rooster, the Rooster and the Hens. So leave a comment with the word rooster. And I will draw for that before my next video. I do it usually the morning of the day that I film. So just in case people obviously don't watch it as soon as it goes up. So just in case, I'm going to leave. I won't draw until just before I film. So if you're interested in winning or being entered for the Rooster and the Hens, here it is. Super cute, very quick little pattern. We'll stitch up very, very quickly. It is my used copy, so please be aware of that. It is not a brand new copy. And I will draw for that just before I film again. So I'll film now 2 weeks from now. All right, so let's see. What else do I have to say? That might be everything. Is that it? That's it. That's my whole video. Wow, it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter video today. I think that's all I have. I talked about plans that I don't really know my plans. I talked about giveaway. I talked about the new stitch retreat. And I think that's it. You know when you think, I feel like every time I go to end a video, I'm like, there was something I wanted to talk about. And then I don't remember what it is because I try to keep notes like as I'm like stitching and as I'm watching other floss tubers, I try to keep notes on what I want to talk about so I don't forget because 2 weeks between filming is quite a bit for me. For my memory, it's quite a bit. I think that is everything. I feel like there's a few floss tubers that I wanted to mention and I'm going to forget everybody's name. And I wanted to write them down because there's a few new floss tubers out there that were really fun to watch. One is the Traveling Stitcher. And there was another one. She was younger and so sweet. And they both did their first floss tube since the last time that I have filmed. I'm going to leave them below. I should have looked that up. You know when you should look things up before you start filming? Yeah, that's where I am. But the Traveling Stitcher, I don't remember her first name. It's awful. So bad with names. I really need a list just for people's names. She was super fun to watch. She reminds me of me, I think, a little bit. Same age kids, same everything. Every time she talked, I was like, I feel like we have a lot in common. I think if we got together in person, we would really get along really well. And the mother-daughter floss tube, I'm gonna post them too. Why can't I remember the name? And I watch them all the time. They have tons of floss tubes, and they do it together in their mom's craft room. I don't remember. That's awful. I'm thinking. Oh, anyway. It doesn't matter. Look below if you. Now that I've gone off on that just silly little tangent, I will link some of the floss tubers that I have been recently watching. I'll link some of the newer ones. I feel like I watch so much floss tube, and I watch all of the Brenda and Laura and Pumpkin Hollow Quilts and all of those people that you watch. The Proper Stitcher, I love Annie. I absolutely love watching her stitching. But those ones that sort of I shouldn't say everybody talks about, but you know what I mean? It's nice to link. I've had so many people shout me out in their videos as a new floss tuber, which is so nice. Because I think when you search floss tube, those higher subscriber, like, I don't want to say more popular. I don't know if that's the right word, but those are the ones that will pop up. So like when I first started searching Flosstube, I found like Shiloh and I found Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. And those are the people that are Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Like they have fantastic videos and they're so awesome and they stitch beautiful, beautiful pieces. But sometimes it's nice to like meet some of the newer people coming up that, you know, can maybe get lost in the shuffle a little bit. So anyway, there you go. I went on a little tangent again. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for today. That's all the stitching I have. That's all the plans that I have. My plans are all up in the air for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll get a handle on that. The rest of this week is really crazy busy for me. So hopefully on the weekend I'll get a chance to sit and like organize my stuff and figure out what I'm going to do with that Smith sampler. I just don't know. I do have a few things. I haven't had haul in a while because I don't usually. I try to be like, I try not to just buy everything that I see. But I do have a few things that I absolutely want to get ordered. I have ordered the new At Home, the Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread sampler. That was, I believe it was an exclusive, a retreat exclusive, and it's beautiful. And it popped up and I was like, done. And I ordered it like instantly. I didn't order anything. I didn't kit it or anything. And I don't know when it will get here. But I do have quite a few things sort of sitting in carts that I think I might get to actually this afternoon and sort of place a few orders and get some stuff. So the next time I film, I might have a bit of a haul, just a little one though. Like it won't be a ton. I really try not to order excessively stuff that I know I'm just not going to get to. I try to order for what I have and what I'm working on. But I have a few things that I need fabric for that I'm not going to get to see in person. So I want to start Sarah Smith. I'm just going to get the called for fabric for that. And I need to find fabric for this Joyous Season, which is my sal that I'm starting with. I didn't bring it today, with Cara Lee from Stitching is Elementary. It's a Plum Street Samplers. It's called This Joyous Season. It calls for Up in the Attic. And I did find it. I couldn't find it. And then I found it, but it looks so dark. That's what I hate about ordering fabric online. So it looks super dark. I have all of the called for floss for that. I have ordered all of the floss. So it's half DMC, half fancy floss. And it looks so dark, the fabric online. And it looks nothing like the picture. So I think I might choose my own fabric that I like based on the floss. I think that's my plan. Based on because I have the floss, so I can floss drop. So I think I'm going to order a few different pieces and then pick the one that I like the best. Because I hate to order and spend a ton of money on a bunch. And I generally don't stitch on darker fabric. Like I like a really neutral fabric. That's just my personal preference. So we'll see. I think I'm just going to order a couple of neutrals that I know that I like. Like I really like flax. There was another one that I really like that is just it's just a standard neutral, goes with everything. You know what I mean? Like I think sometimes it can get a little tricky to order online and you're not sure. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's my plan. This for just the next couple of weeks. I'll order a couple of things. Hopefully next time we'll have that to look at, and I'll see what I can do with the Smith sampler. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got today. I hope you guys have an awesome week. I hope everybody is stitching tons. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching till the very end, because I feel like, you know, I get rambly as I go on, so I really appreciate that you're sticking this out. Good luck with the giveaway if you have entered, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.